UPX Podcast, baby. Glad you tuned in. Got your host, thank me later, and you're stupid to win. Might be coming up, session as soon as you begin. Start out king of the street, then lock in iconic in. Welcome to Upland. Grab your UPX, man. On your way, and the dough hit you with $4,000. Get to buying and gripping, then to selling and flipping, over to moving and shucking. I'm Scrooge McDuckin in UPX.
Welcome, fellow Uplanders, to another episode of the Upland Property Xperts Podcast. I am your host, Too Stupid to Win, and as always, I'm joined by ThankMeLater, and I forgot to remove the people from the pre-show to backstage before we went live.
Fail.
Absolutely. It's been one of those days. What do you got going on there?
Why
is a woman?
I mean, that's a very personal question. No, this is, well, Stream Avatar. Oh my gosh. Stream Avatar is it's a Twitch overlay that I was playing with. I actually just downloaded a Rick and Morty pack for it. But as you can see, the UPX World Live, that is our Xlander. And so
nice.
that's
I like
the
that.
Xlander that was made into a pixelated character by More Cheese, God of Pixels. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out my Twitch does not. Safari is using encrypted connection. Okay, like I get it. I don't know what, like, because I'm trying to host. I got to figure out, there's got to be a way to do it. I don't know. Did my internet just like die on that one? What is going on here?
Maybe.
Anyway.
Maybe. I mean, there's a lot to talk about this week. Besides the market update, Upland went a little crazy with things that were released since last podcast.
Yeah.
We have the Upland Decor. They had the end of summer sale.
Ooh.
They have the September challenge going on. There's more cars coming. More cars. And then you can win a pretty cool Block Explorer. They sold a bunch of Block Explorers. I don't know. I just don't get excited about collection releases anymore. Do you?
No. No, I don't even check them.
It is what it is.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They did an auction house. Landmarks. They did reverse landmark auctions. I mean, it was a busy week. Oh, I mean, and then they did drop a teaser about NFLPA Legits collections coming soon.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some big things. I'm really hopeful. I hope we see some. There we go. Now we can host. There. Goodness gracious. All right.
Got it all figured out over there?
Well, now we should be now. Welcome. Let me see what happens if I type in here. So, yeah. So I'm still figuring out the whole Twitch thing. But now I believe that people following my channel. So if I go to, which is UPX World Live. So if I check that. Anyway,
while you're checking that,
we'll be hosting. It'll be hosting you.
Right? Okay, awesome. Appreciate that. And for our podcast listeners that only listen to us on that platform, I do apologize about episode 147 not being released. You just have to check that out on YouTube. Last week was a hot mess, and I thought we were going to have a repeat of that this week leading up to it. Yeah, absolutely. I do apologize. Our podcast listeners, definitely you have to check us out for last week's episode on YouTube. And yeah, it's been a big mess. But anyway,
well, there we go. Look at that. We got we got
hold
some
on.
people.
I'll remove it.
What are you doing?
Oh. I thought you wanted to show more dancing people.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, look, there's Ross Crypto 2020. Welcome, Humble Life.
Nice. Welcome. Glad you could join. All right, market update. All right, top 10 city floors. Nashville made a big jump this week. It jumped up 7 spots into the number 8 position at 7,800 UPX. So that was a pretty big gainer. And the Porto price for US dollars jumped 32% to $7.30. So that was pretty interesting. But it's the new thing. I believe that's the new thing, and just people buying up the lower price properties to get, and you're just eating up the floor for the new stuff. Manhattan, not much of a change. Overall, pretty steady market. Nothing really changed in the top 7. Kansas City bumped up 2, and New Orleans dropped down 2 spots. So pretty good week, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can go with it. Sure.
Looking at the 30-day change, your US dollar price is more green than red, and the UPX price pretty stable. Yeah, it's pretty red across the board, but it's a typical fluctuation for over 30 days. Nothing to get too excited about. Only one, New Orleans, was over 10%. Everything was under 10%. Bronx and Nashville were just slightly green at Bronx at 6% and Nashville at 4%. Maybe we're seeing a leveling off here of the volatile floor.
Maybe.
And then you look.
I'm trying to think of like what would be the next like triggering event.
Looking
like
at
what would be like the next major, like outside of like economical things, right? But like what do you think would be the next big market shakeup then?
Big market shakeup. I don't know. Would it be an introduction of more new players to the game? Because your stadiums are, I believe all the stadiums have been completed construction now. So you have all the stadiums out there. And that was interesting, is with the stadium construction, all of a sudden people started talking about the value of properties around stadiums and the importance of it. And that is something we've been discussing since the first, anytime a stadium came out. Franklin 52G, aka Franklin Bombs, that's his MO in Upland. A new city release, everybody's looking for all these different collections, and he's there floating around the stadiums and buying the properties up. So I find it interesting that now, since they're built, people are now catching on to the value of the properties around those stadiums.
Yeah, it's really interesting because, okay, so what's the play there? So you just think because people are going to go, I mean, there's obviously natural marketing and they're available from space, so there's benefit there. I mean, I get it. It makes sense. If I was more into sports, I'd probably be more interested, but I'm not. So I'm not.
I mean, as you see more function coming to it. So yeah, you have to go there on game day to buy your legits in the 2022 season. As more businesses roll out and you get more layer 2 stuff going on, you can have more businesses, more interactive around there. So it will be an entertainment hub, as could say, for your sports people. You could have some fantasy football lounges, or you can have, I don't know. There's a bunch of different things that you could potentially do as businesses continue to develop and expand. I think you're still in an early phase, and I think we're still a while out till you see the full functionality around the stadiums.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I think we would need to see more stadium functionality because, I mean, the buying thing, I guess, is kind of cool, but I don't know if it's enough.
Right now, I don't think it's enough, but I think in the future it will be. Chicago is not a bad city.
Yeah.
And that was from Ross Crypto asking, is Chicago a bad city?
I mean, no. It's a tier 1 city. And in fact, it's still not even fully minted, is it?
Nope. Still not. Oh, and then for the people that were waiting for Mars, Utah, I know we talked about it the last couple weeks. Had a little technical hang up with the final product through the person doing the final producing of the track. So he should be joining us next week. And I know we've said it for a couple weeks now. First, he was sick, and now we're having some difficulties. So last week would have been an issue too with not having a final product ready. But I don't want to rush perfection, and I don't want to rush. And we'll get it right. And Mars will be here rocking a new theme song. Welcome back.
Yeah, no, I was here the whole time. I just wanted to. Yeah, I feel like I was getting a weird delay, and I had mentioned it before, so.
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's fun to keep you guys coming back. It's, little hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, right. So, just keep teasing the Mars drop.
Right. All right. So this is the Upland UPX markup floor price.
Oh my gosh. Are we doing this again?
We'll figure out the right wording. Either way, the cheapest property or not the cheapest property, the lowest markup in Rutherford is 450%, which is still a little crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's still, Rutherford's going to be an anomaly. I really think that they like the 200%. Like, I think 2x for a normal property is pretty good return. I mean, how long has Manhattan been out? Like
2020.
It came out 2020, so a year and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think 200%.
18 months to get to 200%. That seems pretty good. Like,
absolutely.
I mean, I know, our crypto fans might disagree, but again, we're looking for a sustainable system, not quick money.
Oh yeah, there's all this hate and discontent right now in the Autograph.io Discord. They have a $750 NFT season pass for Tom Brady type stuff, and everybody's like, "Yo, we've been the first ones in, and we paid hundreds of dollars on stuff, and now it's like, people were paying, and now it's worth like pennies on the dollar, not pennies on the dollar, but they paid $500 for something, which is now going for $60, and they want them to sell it $750 for more exclusive stuff, which is just prior access to buy more stuff. And they're like, yeah, we're not falling for this. You've sucked enough money out of us, and you haven't delivered this exclusive interaction with the players that you were first starting to talk about when you launched the Autograph platform. So yeah, a lot of hate and discontent there.
Well, I'm bummed to hear that. I got a little penny put in there, so that's not great to hear.
Oh, me too. Yeah. So they were showing for more money, and there's 2,500 would be sold. They're like, so you want another $1.87 million from us, and to have the ability to have us spend more money. And a lot of people weren't having it.
No, and they shouldn't. Like, I mean, and that tells you the level like that this space is. I mean, Autograph.io, those are the absolute. Like, I mean, it's all the goats, right? Like, I mean, these are the top sports people. And I mean, DraftKings and everything, like that was supposed to be a flagship brand. And so to see that they're pulling the same stuff that everybody else is pulling, it's just depressing, honestly. Like, I don't know, man. I just go, that's why I'm excited for UPX World, because that ain't the future of Web3. Like that's the history of Web3. People are going to be looking back at like the early 2020s as like the dark times for NFTs and the dark times for Web3, because it's horrible right now. So
yeah. Ooh, look at that. 1 million was taken out of SF in 4 hours. Wow.
Yeah, no comment.
Yeah, we'll leave that one alone for right now. Good for those people, but Russell, you've been on to stuff for a long time now, and you know what's up. So we'll just leave it at that.
Simon
Morongo.
Yeah. Yes. Will Rio floor price ever go up again? Actually, she's our.
That's Simone. You said Simon. Simone.
Jeez, oh, Pete. I'm sorry, Simone. I think that might be the new mod for.
Yeah. So Rio price will go up again, but the Rio floor was initially inflated just because of the small release, the first international city. It's going to be the San Francisco of internationals, and you got a strong following in Brazil.
Yeah. So keep in mind, I mean, the thing about Rio is I think the Upland team really wanted there to be unminted properties there. Like they didn't want it to mint out and stay minted out, in the sense that, if there's new players, they're trying to expand that market. So they're spending a lot of marketing dollars and that in Brazil and I think probably in South America in general. And so if those players join and the one place that they really want to be is completely minted out, that's not a great experience. And I think you saw them trying to experiment with, hey, let's launch like an FSA specific thing. And that didn't really help. And then so they had to release more until the market was saturated enough. The problem is that everybody gets super greedy, and then they do this like pump, and they like buy it all up, and then they freak out, and then they sell it, and then they people just need to chill. Like, get your teams together, get your neighborhoods together, get your groups together. I know that there's some good nodes forming down there in Rio. So
yeah. And it will increase in value. So it's going to be good. It will come back up. You just have to be patient. I had a San Francisco property. I bought it second. So the original mint was 1900 UPX. I bought it for 1955, and it just sold yesterday for $50 US.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Moonshine Fuel says they should have some kind of ticker that shows solds everywhere in real time.
Ooh, let's start working on that. I like that idea.
I do. I've actually always I thought that would just be I don't know why that doesn't exist in general. I think it's super cool, to have a news ticker of recently sold things.
Yes. And that's recently sold things. So I almost screwed up. I forgot that you can transfer UPX to players. I was about to buy a burner today I was about to buy a shantytown micro house Rio de Janeiro property for an insane amount of money. And then I realized I was able to transfer UPX.
Could you actually do it?
What? Transfer UPX? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you actually transfer the UPX?
I actually did. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was Justin. It was his birthday today, and he still put all the data together for us. So happy birthday, Justin.
Birthday.
And he's been putting the data together for us and putting the slides together for us for the last 4 weeks. So really appreciated him. So I wanted to hook him up with some UPX for the work and for his birthday. So I was like, what's a cheap property? And as I was putting it in, I'm like, wait, I can transfer you this UPX and not buy this really small real property that will never have this value anytime soon.
But so it's interesting. I still like burners because
Do you?
Yeah, because here's the thing. First of all, it's the only way that I have Detroit properties and Rio properties is by buying burners. The second thing is when you transfer your UPX, you just lose your net worth. That's just a straight loss of net worth, right? If you buy a burner, it adds it to your net worth. Your net worth stays the same. So you don't lose net worth by transferring UPX because you're essentially buying that house and keeping the net worth into that property. But I guess technically, if you can use the UPX transfer, you should. And I guess that also, and especially depending on the amounts, because usually if I'm buying a burner, I usually just have them mint and then I buy it whatever I'm going to give them plus the mint. So
Right.
that can get expensive, especially if you're doing like smaller, like 5,000 UPX payouts and stuff. I think anything under 10,000 UPX is a great use of it. Over that, I don't want to lose all that net worth necessarily. So
It was over 100,000. So
yeah, that would have been borderline. Because I just go, I'll transfer,
Yeah,
I'll
but-
buy a burner for 103,000. Because who knows? One day it might be worth that too. That's the other thing. It's just like, I don't know.
right.
Yeah.
So
They should have.
after talking to you about it, I thought I did the smart thing, but actually I did the wrong thing. And my first instinct was actually right to just buy the burner.
Yeah, I would have bought the burner. Because for me, the other thing is like I like having those other miscellaneous properties. Because here's the thing, is like I was probably gonna buy some random Rio properties. So what I do now is instead of just doing that, I just wait to buy burner properties for things, and then I just fill out my small stuff from that.
Yeah. And the burner properties are nice, especially having those in stock, especially if you have some keen people out there that look for trades to increase their net worth. Because
Whoa. Now, I don't know about that now. That sounds a lot like a TOS borderline. Nope. You cannot actively seek.
Did you get in trouble?
No, because I
Okay.
would never do that. Too stupid. But you should not do that. Now, if you happen to have those properties that you've used for burners and somebody offers you something and it's a great deal and you are just like, yep, that's a fair trade to me, and you do it. But you can't actively seek, hey, I'm selling this million UPX original property for whatever, right? To help net worth, or like you really that's pretty strongly against you.
That's where I was driving at, is you have a valuable property and you seek out somebody that's bought a burner and you trade it and you can boost your net worth.
Yeah, that's bad. That is called net worth manipulation. No, bad.
Then people that buy burners don't trade the burners.
Yes, if you have, well, you don't have to not trade it. Just don't actively try to be like, hey, do you need higher net worth? Come trade these things.
I wasn't saying go out and advertise you want higher net worth. I'm talking about the people that
if you are
seek out.
And if you are a lower net worth, so if you are just an uplander, you should not seek to trade with high, like purchase ones like that with the intent of, say, leveling up. That is also against terms of service. So as a seller or as the original trader, you're fine because you're just trading it away. However, if you are the person who is trying to quote unquote level up by doing these clever trades, just know that can be seen as net worth manipulation and is technically against TOS and could potentially land you in Alcatraz.
In Alcatraz.
This is not financial
When
advice.
are they going to open?
Blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera.
When are they going to open up Rikers Island?
I don't think they will. I think they just leave it as Alcatraz. There's no reason to.
But Rikers Island has such history.
Yeah, I mean, so does Alcatraz.
Yeah. Like East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah, but then how do you decide where people go?
If your block explores in the east, you go to Rikers, and if it's in the west, you go to Alcatraz.
No, I like Alcatraz. I like it being exclusive. Stop trying to take things away from San Francisco, you monster.
All right. So here is the cheapest properties in the top 10 cities, cheapest properties, and the markup of that property.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So this is the cheapest property in the market. So, I mean, yeah. As you can see, I mean, Manhattan is still freaking ridiculous.
Absolutely.
It's interesting that Rutherford isn't that far ahead on markup compared to San Francisco.
Right.
But,
Now, they were a little more expensive properties to mint, compared to Harlem. So,
yes. Yeah, that's fair.
yeah. So, yeah, there's some huge ones. I was surprised that Nashville was, well, they had some pretty cheap properties in their initial mint. So, not that surprised.
Yeah. Manhattan is getting lower all the time.
Yeah, but their markup still stays high.
Yeah, it's still ridiculous.
Bottom 5 city floors. Still pretty stable, still seeing increases. The Rio floor US dollar dropped.
$3 Rio floor. Jeez, oh Pete's.
Yeah. Yeah, it went from a top 10 city to a bottom 5 city pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, Rio was always a lower price because do we have the markups on that? Like what is the markup on Rios right now? Like, are they under mint? Are they selling under mint?
Let's see here. Rio's property. Hold on. I will tell you right now.
This Rio is so sad. It's not, I mean, I get it. It's not great. I mean, but the other thing is they're pretty cheap properties.
Yeah, Rio's selling under mint.
Under mint.
Yeah. I mean, there's only 2 properties right now that are under mint. Once you add in the 5% fee, you do have a bunch of properties that then, well, not a bunch. You have a handful that break out at 100%. So you got under 10 that's at 100% and under mint.
Yeah. So, I mean, the other thing to keep in mind is that there was a time that San Francisco sold under mint.
Yes.
So, it's not. Upland's game is not get rich quick. There's no value right now. Like they're still building the asset base and the player base and the asset diversity. So there's no you can't just buy something and expect there to be value out of nothing. Like, why would you, if you mint a property today in a city that is unminted, that is not part of a collection, that is not part of anything, what in the world makes you think that somebody should pay you more for it? Like, there's not even any logic to that. Like, hey, I know that the property next to me is unminted, and so you could get a much better deal. However, buy this random property for me for a markup. No.
Yeah.
That's not how that works. Like, why should I buy it? Is it interesting? Is it, close to a stadium? Is it part of a collection? Is it part of a node? Man, oh man. Like, it just drives me nuts. I made a number to sell it for. It's not that. Also, some people want specific addresses. I don't know what you're talking about, Dr. Noby. But yes. But see, even that's a strategy, right? Like, that's the problem is I feel like we got a lot of people that are coming in without a strategy.
Right.
Like, if you're hunting for something specific, then like that's fine. Like, then you have a market and you have a niche that you're trying to sell to and that you'll be able to market to. However, if you're just buying randomly and then hoping,
it was like that before. It's just, I think more people are noticing.
And I think it also depends on what you consider the last expansion. If the last expansion, Crypto Kitty, lol. I think if you're consider the last expansion, LA, Detroit, and then that kind of push, and then when they really started to put pressure on Manhattan, that was them resetting the economics and rebalancing the baseline before they expand. So the last Rio expansion, yeah, but that's the whole point. Before the last Rio expansion, Rio was set to function like Manhattan where all the properties were sold out, and then people, oh, well, okay, so let's talk about just Rio. So we're just talking about Rio. When it first launched, they had a goal: sell out as fast as you can. This is your first international city. You do not want it to be something that goes unminted. It needs to be a headline: first international city sold out in 45 minutes. They did that. Done.
It was 2 hours, but yeah.
Well,
still,
whatever.
quick.
They sold out quick. It was big. It got sold out. However, immediately the multiplier on that started to get astronomical, which defeats the whole purpose of what they're trying to do, which is why then they tried to lessen it with the FSA launch. They said, okay, well, here's FSA, because they're targeting a new market. So they have to have available inventory for this new market. And that's what no one went into it realizing and like appreciating. Now, it's easy for us to say in hindsight, like, well, you guys should have realized that. Like, they were never going to let there be another Manhattan. And I think a lot of people in the first Rio release saw it sell out and was like, this is the next Manhattan. And then they bought everything up, and then they bought everything up again until like the market got saturated, which is exactly what Upland wanted to do, because they didn't want Manhattan markups. That doesn't help anybody. That doesn't help them grow their community.
Yeah, because their biggest fear is if they would have dropped all the Rio at once and it just sat there and had a large amount unminted right away. So they played the economy, they watched it, they tracked it, and as we'll see in a couple of slides, there's still, over 400,000 properties available for original mint, but it's the shiny new object. It's the first international city, and it was, everybody wanted a piece of it. There were a lot of cheap properties, a lot of small properties. Now you got the micro houses. I still think they need shanties, but whatever.
I mean, I think that the micro house is as close as we're ever going to get to a shanty. At least I hope so.
Somebody will design it.
Well, I mean, layer 2, we're going to have shanty downs for sure.
So here's the markup US dollars. A lot of value. Rio, you can buy 53% off, or 53% of original mint price of US dollar. Still very strong.
My goodness, people. I mean, even if you were buying with your interest and then selling, holy cow.
That's still bad in the long run to buy with your interest and sell for this deep of a discount, but times are tough.
Yeah.
Times are tough.
Weldopedia, this is 3D Engine. No, that's not their play. They're mobile. Their 3D Engine is fine.
Ooh, look at what an architect. He's hyping some Manhattan here.
I feel like you need a really high markup city like Manhattan creates exclusive. Yeah, we've had that conversation. Yeah, and definitely, I know a lot of people have a lot of plans for layer 2, and that'll be cool too. But yeah, I don't think you need high. Like that's the fallacy of the current Web3 mentality. We need exclusivity. We need high prices. Why? Who benefits from that? The people. I mean, like the community doesn't. It's usually a handful of people who are able to buy in mass quantity and then sell in mass quantity. That doesn't help the community at large. Like Upland, in fact, like it's very interesting to hear, especially if you're not one of the top people. Like, I get that you want to make a ton of money on your flip, but like for every dollar that you make, somebody who's 100 times bigger is making $100. So it scales very quickly, and they're actually not catering to the whales. Like, they're catering to the community of saying, hey, we want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to mint, to enjoy the game, to get in and play. And they're not just like, hey, we're going to make these really high value cities that are going to be impossible to get into, and they're going to be super exclusive only for the rich. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. Ooh, good point there. Yeah. Rio is 97% minted. Porto is 99% minted. Good point. I was slacking on my updates there. And there's only 2,384 properties left in Rio right now.
Dang.
Right now, there's a total of 102,809 properties in Rio with 23 locked. Nothing big on the sold out side. Steady climbers, pretty stable. Unminted properties, 441,262 left. Pretty slow week for minting or minting new properties. Detroit, once again, was the biggest city, seeing the biggest amount of properties minted at over 1,000, with Los Angeles coming up just under 1,000.
Yeah, I think Detroit's got some really good communities growing there. So I'm expecting to see some things. I'm also curious if the cars thing plays into that at all. So looking for some water. Okay, I didn't bring it with me. So I think we're probably seeing a little bit more from that, which is cool. Yeah, I think Detroit's a happening city. Don't sleep in Detroit.
No, don't. That is a lot going on in that city. So let's see here. What do we have next? We have MV motor sales. So if you haven't had a chance to get a car, here's another opportunity.
What are they selling?
Ooh, they're selling a lot of stuff, and they have a giveaway. So registration is now open, and it closes Friday, September 2nd at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern. So if you're watching live and you haven't registered, you still have a chance. If you catch us late Friday or Saturday, it's too late. So hopefully you registered. So they are selling 3 Series 4Rs, and that's the orange, the blue, the violet. And they're selling mints 41 through 50 for 180,000. Then they have 4 Series Ts that they're going to sell. And that is the forest green, alpine white, jet black, and candy red. And they're selling mints 4 through 20. They are having a contest for mints 1 through 3 of the forest green. And then they're selling S Series mints 21 through 30. And they are selling Series S 5 of those: sky blue, silver, yellow, gray, gunmetal gray, and orange. So more semi trucks coming out, and then you have the trucks themselves, and then you have the R series. They're also doing the T series giveaway, so nothing beats winning a brand new car. And they're going to give 3 lucky winners a brand new MV Motors pickup. And also they got the Block Explorer going on. It's a flame colored pickup truck type thing. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely check out the article there. But they will be giving 250 hot rod Block Explorers.
What?
Yes.
How do I get one of those?
So you have to enter the contest.
I'm literally like signing up for mine right now. Like,
all right.
Because I missed the last Block Explorer one, man. I was so sad. The wine and cheese, the Porto one.
Yeah.
I missed that.
So your activity earns you points. Entry starts Thursday, September 1st, so today, and it runs through Sunday, September 4th, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And this is for the Forest Green MV Motors Series 1 through 3, 1 per winner, plus the additional 250 Hot Rod Block Explorers, and once again, 1 per winner. So mint or buy any property anywhere in Upland. You have 8 points each, 24 points max. Send to a football stadium, 1 point, 5 points max. Send to Mangaria in Rio is 3 points. Send to Stadium in Porto is 3 points. And spawn a standard treasure is 1 point and 1 point max. And then they have the key addresses up for you to look at if you need that. I will link the article in the description of this video, and I'll put it in the description for the podcast so you guys can just look right there for the links if you need it. Gives you all the addresses. and it says to sweeten pot, they'll double your contest entries if you reach the 36-point maximum. So that's 72 entries. So
Holy
I haven't
Wait.
done the math because you got to travel. So you have to pay for the travel because you have to go to Rio, you have to go to Porto, and you have to go to 5 different football stadiums
Holy moly.
between now and Sunday.
Between now, wait, so is it like, so I don't have to, like, if I'm like, let's say I forgot to log in today, and so I don't log in until tomorrow, like, is that, like, could I still do it?
You still have time to do it to get all the way around.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can hit Cleveland, Chicago, Detroit pretty quickly and either bounce to Rutherford or Nashville or Kansas City pretty quick. With Rutherford probably being your last stop, or Chicago because you want to get on an international flight to get to Rio. And then, well, that's the challenge is you got to go from an international terminal in the States to Rio and then back to the States and then from there to Porto.
Yeah, that's a tough one, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you were in Porto already, like starting in Porto would probably, or Rio, honestly. Like,
JT's got a good point. Finish in Porto because they haven't done the Porto tour yet.
That's a solid pro tip right there, honestly.
Absolutely. So it's not too hard to gain the 36 max points, and it's not like you have to do an action every day. So it's very easy to get that if you have the UPX available to do the travel. So hopefully you do have the UPX to travel and get that knocked out of the park. And good luck to everybody.
Knocked out of the park.
Yeah, baseball. It's getting close to the playoffs time. You do have Camoville already with 34 points. They still need to spawn a treasure in a football stadium send.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, they weren't messing around.
Good for them.
Yeah. And then now the trucks, how do you feel with the semis
in what sense?
Being 450,000? Is that an appropriate price for them?
Seems cheap.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And the pickup trucks are 240,000.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about like real life, and especially because they come with a trailer, right? Like a pickup truck in real life, even if you went with like a pretty good one, like let's say, 40, 50,000, but then, a semi truck, I mean, those are 6 figures without a trailer. Like, so I mean, I guess maybe it scales. I'm sure that they must have some math, right?
If I did that, Russell, I'd work it backwards because there's no international terminal out of KC. So you'd have to have an additional move out of KC. And it's also cheaper to fly from the East Coast than it is the West Coast. But if you're already on the West Coast, that's where you're kind of challenged too, is how you work that and how you get your international flight from there.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I do like these. Now, I've been kind of busy. Have they enabled the transfers of the vehicles yet?
I don't think so. You can move them to your property now, which is cool.
Yes.
So I parked my Series 1, my red Series 1 outside my house in Alamo Square, which was kind of fun. I was pretty stoked about that.
Nice. Making the neighborhood look classy.
Trying to class it up. Yeah. Class.
There you go. All right, because you got a fleet of cars that you've promised people UPX for.
I've already paid, I think, all of them for. I've actually prepaid Because a lot of times, like, people will register, as you should. You should always register for all of them.
Yes.
Like, you should always register for everything, always. Like, just do so, because it's better to get it in like a good spot in line and not need it than like not registered and potentially miss an opportunity to help somebody out. So like, there's a lot of times there's people that really want in on something, but you miss out or whatever. And then if you don't have the UPX, there's usually somebody, especially for the cars. I know that there's not been a single time that I've seen cars like not be fully, I don't want to say sponsored, but essentially sponsored. I would say I had a couple people ping me for the landmark auction. But yeah. Which
okay.
I was like, I don't know that. So
you're getting closer, Russell. KC to Chicago to Detroit, Cleveland, or actually KC to Nashville to Chicago. I'd have to look at all the travel routes, but either way, you want to end up with Rutherford to New York to international out. But yeah, that's kind of the KC, Nashville, Chicago, Cleveland, Detroit, over to Rutherford, New York to get out. That's pretty much where you'd want to travel if you are in that area and can afford it. All right, Metaventure updates. Outdoor decor manufacturing.
Really? You couldn't even like put a picture of your own decor shop on that?
I can, but I ran out of time.
Your own factory?
And then number 2 to it is, if I ever have the time or anybody wants to volunteer and help us edit these clips into shorter segments for YouTube, this is a good starting point. So they see the screen and they know when to start the clip for us. I'm thinking ahead.
Well, I mean, we got people.
I know we got people.
But I mean, you gotta have a budget. My people don't work for free.
I understand.
We can work it out though.
Yeah.
I'll get you with my girl Scotch. She's my CMO. She's crushing it.
There you go. So here's your factory owners. I'm very original with the UPX Podcast manufacturing. So there's our factory name. Oh, there you go, Russell. We'll talk. BDag, Ben68, Constitution, Crypto Jedi, June, Los Montana, and ThankMeLater.
Why in the F am I at the last of this list?
It's like a sandwich. The 2 best on the ends and everybody else in the middle.
All right. I'll semi-agree, I guess.
Also alphabetical.
I know. Outer spaces. I like outer spaces. That's fun. Samurai Aquatics and Decor. Atlas Construction. Have we seen? I haven't even checked what they're all building.
That's Constitution, not construction.
What?
Constitution.
Oh,
you said Atlas Construction.
Well, it's their factory, so they're constructing. So
there you go. All right.
The bread is always the best part of the sandwich.
Depends on the sandwich.
Part of the sandwich that won't leave my ass alone.
Had a corned beef sandwich today with some really good horseradish on it. So the horseradish was the best part of that sandwich. So I'll disagree on that comment.
Have we seen what any of these? I'm curious now. I mean, I guess
I have not had a chance to go look and see if anybody has. I mean, I have 45 Spark hours, so I'm not turning things out for 3 days. So I think tomorrow I'm going to start seeing some on my property.
Well, I mean, because you can see what they're manufacturing, right? Because like I went to yours, but like it's interesting because like June isn't producing anything. Hold on, I'm going to go through each one of these. Aquatics is, and me and you are. So talk about what you're making.
I'm making an anvil, and it's actually going to be a pretty big anvil, it looks like. And it's,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Like, I have no idea how big these are going to be.
Yeah, it was because they had us put it in meters, and it's going to be actually kind of big. Not like super huge, but and at first you're like, too stupid. What are you doing with an anvil? One, I had a bunch of stuff going on, so ThankMeLater did bail me out. I appreciate that, brother. But 2, it is going to have relevance and tie into UPX world. So you'll definitely want to check these things out.
Yeah. So just to give a little bit of a teaser on what we're doing with the Decor, 20 meters tall.
Maybe.
So the manufacturing, so anything that
Closer.
actually, no, like for blacksmithing, yes, it is. The anvil is for blacksmithing. So
I was laying a teaser, but you just put it all out there, man. You're a cheap date.
well, no, because that's the easy part. Like an anvil obviously plays into blacksmithing and crafting and things like that. So in layer 2, like those anvils will be places for constructions and things like that. And so the big value proposition of those anvils and of the test tubes that are being produced at the UPX World Genesis plant is that they will not just have functionality in layer 2, but they will offer passive income opportunities. So what that means is if you are a holder of one of those and you have them on one of your properties and they are used in layer 2, you receive a cut of the profit from that mini game or those activities or whatever. And so when you log into UPX World, much like you collect interest on your properties in Upland, you will be able to collect interest and revenue off of your layer 2 decor. So yeah, Valerian steel, that's fair.
There you go.
The OG anvil does sound dope. I found one other one, Johnny's Plumbing Saver, which looks like an outhouse, which is awesome, from Outer Spaces, from BDag. So BDag is making porta potties.
That's awesome.
Like
they actually like new school porta potties or old school porta potties.
No. They actually look like outhouses.
Okay.
It's like a wooden outhouse. I think it even has like the little moon on it.
Gotcha.
It's legit.
Nice.
I don't think anybody else is. Let me see here. Did I check all 3 of them? Man, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a lot of people are producing. I don't understand.
That's all right.
We'll see. For all the meta pooping. End of summer.
So the end of summer sale, Upland kind of went ham the other day. So you had 3 block explorers and two landmarks being auctioned off. So you missed the registration. I missed the registration. Once again, they had another NFT wizard out there, which is pretty cool. I always love the NFT wizards, and the Porto wine and cheese block they always do well with these special block explorers. What do you price them now on the second market? So you had 2 5,000 block explorers and then 1 30,000 block explorer. Or sorry, not 5. I missed that. 500s. You had 2 500s and a 300. I was looking at the UPX, so I messed that up.
And then Flagpole Portugal. Oh, so we got
that's Los.
Los is doing Portugal. Nice. There we go. Found it. $10. Dizzy dues, yeah, brother. I'd say like $10 on those other ones, because the thing is, it's $5 and you get the 500 UPX, so it's free.
Right.
Like, this is what people need to understand. It's a free block explorer. So if you get it and you sell it, it's like bonus. And so I would say that, but I mean, they're probably sell for 20. The Wizard Block Explorer, again, I go, you're paying 30, but you're getting 30,000 UPX, so it's free. And so I think that they were selling for like 50. I think I offered somebody like 20 on it, because I was just like, I don't like. The thing is, these wizards had all of this potential, and just given how Upland is treating like block explorers when it comes to racing, like of it just being like generic as far as everyone, the wizards do look super cool. I just don't know that there's going to be functionality, right? Like, I just don't know that there's going to be functionality that is relevant to them. Like, I don't know. I just don't see Upland doing anything with it. Is the wizard a llama? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Maybe we'd have to find. That's a great question. What is the wizard?
I could see a beaver.
A beaver. Nice. No, what? I think he's like a bear. He's got the nose. He almost looks like Paddington Bear in that. Yeah, bear. But definitely llama. Yeah, he's got a little bit of a bear snout, but we'll go llama. I feel like probably llama is fair.
Maybe bear llama. Crossbreed.
Llama bear.
All righty. Now you had so then they went into the auctions, the reverse auctions itself. This is always a pretty cool structure. This is the automotive museum that they had up for sale.
Whoa, that's cool looking.
Yeah, and it's on Wilshire, so that could fill your Wilshire collection.
What did it end up selling for?
I think it ended up selling for the full 17.
Dang. Tiny llama. Someone says it's tiny llama. Confirmed.
Tiny llama.
Check the ears. All right.
Okay.
Looks like a fingerprint. Yeah, this looks super, super cool. Wait, so then did they do 2 reverse and then they did 2 like at the sales thing?
No, just 2 reverse.
But didn't they have some that were at the store for sale?
Yeah, these were there was this one, and then here's the Chinese theater.
But I thought there was 2 in the summer sale.
Yeah, these were the 2 in the summer sale.
Oh, did you have to register for them though? Like it said register.
These were the reverses.
I'm confused. Was there 2?
You had to register for these ahead of time, and it worked its way through.
Oh, so like registered, and then after it was registered, then it reverse auctioned?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me look it up. I got confused putting it all together. Here are the prices. Here were the reductions. So here was the starting prices of both. And then the reduction rate was 5%, and they were both bought as is for right away.
Yeah, because you had to register for them. So again, like it was after, I guess, the registration. It would be if nobody decided to buy, reduction rates would kick in. Got it. Okay. Thank you. I'm glad somebody. There were time slots. Yeah, because I was like, I think it was designed, to be like batches. Oh, I closed that. Sorry. There you go.
Okay, so they did a new mechanism. So if all the registered players had a chance to buy the landmark and it hasn't been purchased, then they would reduce the price. So you did have to register, and it was still a reverse auction.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Oh yeah, we know.
Yes, the Chinese theater is definitely very controversial. We did a video about that because the way it was marked on the map using third-party markers that we've talked about we haven't had to talk about those for a very long time, which I'm happy about, but it was marked wrong by a third-party marker. Somebody bought it. They got all excited. They're like, oh, Upland made a mistake. Well, no, the third-party marker made a mistake. The actual Chinese theater was still locked, and they were upset about it, but it wasn't like they had to pay a premium price for it. So that's what I didn't get there either, was you didn't pay a nosebleed price for it.
Yeah, it's not like you paid 17 million up. Like if you had paid 17 million UPX, and they're like, oh, no, that's not that. It's the other one. Like that would be insane, but like you didn't. You paid whatever the mint cost of that property was. Like I'm sure that you'll have no problem selling it for a profit. Like it's next to the actual Chinese theater. Like you're fine. Like, I don't know. Like that's not something like that's not their fault, like at all. I don't. Again, and it wasn't like it was the actual Chinese theater and that it was unlocked and then it was bought and then they like arbitrarily moved it or anything crazy like that. So
Yeah, and that's on Hollywood Boulevard, right by the Walk of Fame, and definitely properties next to it. You know, just as we said before, properties across the street next to landmarks are going to be valuable properties also.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. All right, we made it through in an hour.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Okay, I'm waiting. Fragile.
Yeah.
Is that a leg lamp?
No, it's your male ego.
Ah, ha, ha, ha.
Let's see. I do unboxings on UPX World Live.
Does it say porn?
It's the Porto mug, you jerk.
Oh, Porto. You can confuse that with porn.
But we'll have more. That's just so the last week. Well, I mean, that tells you. I got the stickers. Hold on. Let me grab. Wait, are you playing the music?
I am playing that music. Like you were unboxing, so I wanted to kind of create some kind of moment of your unboxing.
Hold on. Then I got
a new theme song music.
I know. So I got these. I didn't get any of the clothes yet. So these are the stickers.
Nice. Where's the UPX World stickers?
Not yet. We're still finalizing all of our logos and everything. But
you see, I'm not the only one.
Porto.
Yeah.
You know what? We got to give some. Well, because I got a bunch of these still from Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah. Maybe we should do some giveaways, eh?
Absolutely.
We got Light It Up. I ganked a bunch of these. Vegas.
Like it. So what else is going on in UPX World?
Man, UPX World is crazy. We did a live demo yesterday of the new build, and it's really fun. We got ganked by some villainous evil puppies on Tuesday. They actually took us out of the air with their laser eyes. They destroyed us. So it's like saying if Apple phone has the defect chips, it's Apple. I don't know what that's in response to. Give away some UPX. When NFLPA announced, I think it got announced.
No, they just teased it that there's going to be an announcement coming up soon, and we're a week away from kickoff, and we are 6 days away from the Upland Fantasy Football League draft. It's the third season going on, so excited for that.
Yeah. Well,
are we in real life?
Are we going to draft?
Yeah, we got to figure out what platform to do. Well, I don't think all 12 people will be available for it, so we can probably do it here on StreamYard. We can only have 10 in here, so we'll figure it out.
All right. Yeah, I got some things. If you need.
Yes, they said an announcement's coming soon, so it should be soon before the 2022 season, I would imagine.
Yeah, we'll see. All
right.
We're cutting it close.
Yeah. Yes, we are. So
keep the music playing.
I can stop it. I like it.
I mean, I like it, but jeez.
So what else is going on in UPX World?
What else is going on? Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. So we finally defeated the evil puppies, and we collected all the coins and the destruction. It's going really well. So we have the alpha gameplay. We've been doing some demos. Likely that will be released to VIXs, which is our very important Xlanders. That will be the first place that we release maybe some actual playable stuff to, as well as our database that we're collecting all of the Upland transaction data and putting into that relational database for all of this amazing reporting. We're at like 480 million records in our Postgres database. Like, it's pretty insane. Grom Brindle is doing a fantastic job. We have some other data people there, and then so that Land for Land is crushing it on the Upland Alpha Beta for that, and then Slav, who is one of the designers for Decor and things. His son is a Unity developer and is going to do a summer internship, a school. So he's in secondary school, which is essentially high school. Yeah. And so they have a work study program, and he's going to spend a couple weeks working at UPX World as our first protege, which is kind of cool. So we're connecting him with Slav's son with a bunch of really cool developers, and going to teach him. He's learning Unity already, so we're going to work with him on like agile development and stuff. So we're really excited to be able to expand there. And then Pizza. There's just so many. And then the experiences. So if you have a major project or an idea that you would like to see come to life in layer 2, whether it's directly related to Upland or not, we are opening up what we call experiences. There's definitely a ton. There's too many to mention right now, but I will call out 1111 by our faithful listener, Dr. Nobi, aka Dr. Nobody. It's going to be quite impressive. The building and the structure that he's working with NFT architect to kind of design out. And then we're going to bring it to life in Unity, and it's going to be a very eclectic gallery and auction house for wax art. And holy cow, there's just so many. I have like a whole notebook now of like different charities. We got charities. Somebody was talking about national parks, some really cool stuff with national parks and forests, and Humble with his supporting of the homeless in Kansas City, and Spread the Cure, obviously, one of our core investors. And so there's just so much positive momentum. We have an absolutely great community. Our marketing team is doing a great job. In fact, we actually just brought Blando on. He's going to be helping out behind the scenes with Scotch. So he's Scotch and Soda. So they work together already. So he's going to come over, and he's doing some help with some Instagram stuff. It's some really talented posts that and content he's creating now. And we just added Simone as a new mod to the UPX World Discord. And so welcome. I think her name is C Prado in Discord. So if you see her around, say hi. Oh, there you go. Well, that doesn't translate here, but there you go. Thanks. Yep. So there you go. Oh, that makes sense. It's Prado. There you go. So C Prado. There you go.
There you go. Sounds good. Each and every week it keeps growing. I'm excited to watch this thing grow, and it's going to be awesome. So we still got some more exciting things to come. So I appreciate it. Anything else before we get out of here this week?
No. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to anybody who was coming over from the UPX World Live. Be sure to follow the UPX Podcast on Twitch and on YouTube. Please, it really helps us out. And really, you know what? And I was watching some YouTube on some other content. It's not even necessarily, first, giving us a like and a follow is great because you get, informed, and you might go, oh, well, I can find it on Discord or whatever. I know that it's Thursday night. But keep in mind that by liking and following this content, it also helps ensure that other people that will like this content get to see it. So it really helps us to make sure that this content, which if you enjoy, is going to get to other, Uplanders and other players just out there, with higher visibility. So it really does help us out. And so we really appreciate it if you throw a like and follow with us.
And a subscribe.
Subscribe, whatever the kids are doing these days.
Yes. All right. Everybody be safe, have fun, and we'll see you out there in the metaverse.
It's the UPX Podcast, baby. Glad you tuned in. Got your host, Thank Me Later, and you're stupid to win. Might be coming up session as soon as you begin. Start out king of the street, then lock in iconic in. Welcome to Upland. Grab your UPX, man. On your way, and the door hit you with $4 grand. Get to buying and gripping, then to selling and flipping over the movie.